Test. No one expects the start of the stream because our weapons are surprise, fear, and intentional feeding. Welcome to week 2 of the Demacian Division Casual Esports Amateur League. I am TTU Phoenix. I will be one of your casters for the game as we bring you this match between Gags Gaming and Aggressive Enchanters.
I'm Oila Polina. I'll be the other caster today, bringing you some silver bronze action from the Demacian division of the CasualEAL Esports Amateur League. And we're getting into the pick ban phase soon. We're actually already in it. I'll have that visual for you soon. Keep you updated. Aggressive Enchanters banned off Kaisa, banned off Ezreal, and Gags Gaming have banned off Alawi. So already, Aggressive Enchanters banning the AD carry pretty strong. Gags Gaming, red side, comes out with the new ban. Big ban for Aggressive Enchanters. Their jungle, Lightning 13Z, is known to play Bite Champions. See if they bring out the Warwick ban too. And the
Who would that leave with Bite Champions left?
I don't know. We were wondering that.
Rek'Sai? Rek'Sai is Furious Bite, not just any bite. I find the triple ADC ban interesting because Aggressive Enchanters... Oh, there's the Caitlyn. Aggressive Enchanters in their first week game found themselves pinched in game 2 on their ADC pool. Some of their safer ADCs were banned out, and they were vulnerable to a very aggressive Misfortune Leona lane.
Yeah, so I think was that Misfortune last game, and they had a strong bot lane, but yeah, they definitely they didn't need to widen their picks in the bot lane. And they bring out the Nautilus.
We should get some confirmation on the Lux. I believe Lux might still be disabled within the league, as her bug has not yet been fixed.
That's a great thing to notice. I'm not sure though if it is
from
another pick ban.
From personal testing with a Lux expert, it appears to be related to the root ult combo, and just a straight up ult seems more reliable.
Okay, so
Draven pick.
Yeah, the Draven pick does come out for Aggressive Enchanters. It could be mid Draven, looking into going into Lux. Fiddlesticks, they have all flex options. It could be Lux support, Nautilus in the mid lane.
Oh, yeah.
Last minute change.
Oh wait, I'm wondering if they are potentially remaking the pro draft here. No, nope. They lock in the Kayn.
The Kayn pick comes out in the jungle.
Alright, sounds like we are going to go to a restart of the pro draft due to the Lux ban.
So it seems Gags Gaming is not aware that Lux is banned due to a bug.
Well, as Syndra is also
with the Q ult combo. What does that bug look like? Do you know?
For Lux, it's just that her ult will fail to deal damage. Spell effects still apply, so Airy or Comet will still hit the target, but the ult itself won't. Syndra is been disabled because there's a bug where she can cancel a teleport by grabbing the minion that is being teleported to at the right moment.
Oh, wow.
And apparently that bug, at least, is fairly repeatable. I don't know the exact timing on it. I played Syndra once, and I fed, so I swore her off.
Fair enough. If you couldn't get the bug to work, that's alright.
Well, I played her a long time ago, back when I still fancied potential playing her. Those were heady times.
Syndra is a hard pick to learn. Yeah. No doubt about it. Always has some ban or some bug with it. I don't know if you remember the probably 2 seasons ago, Season 8 Worlds, the Syndra ult off of TSM hit 2 people at the same time.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was probably about 2-3 years ago. It was crazy.
The craziest bug I remember seeing. Well, there was one where people figured out that Riven could shorten her recall timing through animation playing.
That's just a Riven classic.
I think the craziest one I ever heard of was when ZZ Portal was new. you could make the portal invisible and untargetable. If you dropped it in Krug Pit and then like killed one of the Krugs, and allowed the camp to reset, it would like either push the Zizirot into the terrain or somehow like overwrite it, and they disabled the item for a while. All right, we are restarting the ban phase. They will be going with the same bans up until, and presumably the same picks up until the point that Lux selects. That would be the first ban for Gags.
Yep, so we'll see Kai'Sa, Ezreal, Alawi, Nunu. Nunu should be coming up if Gags Gaming does not.
Yep. There we go.
And we'll have a couple messages from the AMO coming up soon. Yeah, just the first bans that they set in.
So, real quick, coming as a tribunal member stepping in for the rules, this is actually technically Gags Gaming because of the division with 5 teams. This is their first match, so this is technically a Week 2 match, but Lux and Syndra have not been re-enabled by LEC, so that is why we are making them redo it, even though we have not officially announced that they are still disabled at this time. Sorry for the confusion, back to the casters.
Alright, they pick a Malzahar.
They do pick the Malzahar.
That's a very safe mid lane pick. It's really hard to push him out of lane once he gets his lost chapter, especially if he takes teleport, teamfight utility. The lockdown.
Enchanters react with Morgana ban, or with the Morgana pick, excuse me.
I think that's clutch here because the lockdown of Malzahar Nautilus is insane. And the logical thing for Gags Gaming would be to ban Morgana in round 2. So it's kind of a, pick now or forever hold your.
Aggressive Enchanters made a good pick with that Morgana. And the Azir coming out in the mid lane. Looks like it is Morgana support with the Caitlyn.
They've got range, they've got pick potential. What I'd like to see out of Aggressive Enchanters is, I know they played Warwick to fair effect. The Fiora pick, and it appears to be a blind pick. Now that's pretty gutsy.
Fiora pick coming up top.
Fiora is very vulnerable to counter, which I find strange because Fiora is very strong.
Fiora is very strong right now. They did good to ban the Ornn. We'll see who they ban here first. I'm half expecting the Warwick ban. Onto 13Z, seeing that they haven't picked a jungle yet.
He played it twice.
Could want to ban.
They passed the ban.
They pass the ban. They do pass the ban. Aggressive Enchanters.
Maybe they just couldn't decide in time. Maybe. I'd like to see the Warwick from Aggressive Enchanters. Their jungle had a strong game first match of last week, and they need some engage on this. Right now they've got good pick potential with the Caitlyn Morgana, and that's obviously a dominant phase. But right now they don't have any way to start fights out of lane phase except for Morgana fishing for a bind.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. They do need an engage here. I personally like Zach into this. They need someone that can get in and start these fights. They have the disengage with Azir, disengage with the binding. Even Caitlyn can provide some traps. But they don't have any strong way to engage these fights.
Yeah. The bans from Gags Gaming I think are very interesting. It's a lot of top laners, and a lot of Yorick and Alawi are very strong 1v1, very strong splitters. And I think they're trying to set this Fiora up for a strong split push, get her on a winning matchup. They pick the Warwick.
Gags Gaming takes a Warwick.
They have 2 suppressions on their team and all of Nautilus.
That is going to force Caitlyn and Azir to be spending 1,300 gold early if they don't want to be just chain CC during these fights.
Which is much worse for Azir because he doesn't have anything to build that into. Urgot in the top lane.
I like the Urgot pick here.
Yeah. But still not a whole lot of engage. I mean, he could try to flash grab, but
not a lot of engage. And Gags Gaming.
Zach.
And Zach. Great pick.
Yes. Start the team.
Rounding out the comp. And the Lucian AD carry. All right. So let's head into the game.
Looking at the
have to
draft,
replicate this draft in game. Yeah.
yes, I think I'm favoring Gags Gaming looking at this because Warwick, Nautilus, Malzahar is an extremely threatening lane team to try to engage into, and the counter to a split pusher like Fiora is to engage on the rest of her team. But Zach, Urgot try to go in, they're just going to get see. Azir and Morgana and Caitlyn are all vulnerable because so much of the CC on Gags Gaming is very ranged, with the Malzahar ult, the Nautilus ult. So unless Urgot can win in the 1v1 and then match Fiora in the split push, I think they're going to be really pinched because they won't be able to match the Fiora and they won't be able to really engage on the Gags how strong their CC line is.
Yeah, super crucial that Urgot can stay in lane with Fiora going into the later parts of the game.
I'd like to see an early Bramble
buff. 4-1 right now.
Thornmail's a fine pick on Thornmail's fine on Urgot. There's a lot of self-healing between the Fiora and the Warwick, and the Lucian may build Blade of the Ruined King. Both of the front line for aggressive Enchanters definitely be that.
So, yeah, so we'll see these exact pick bans as they did on the pro draft.
For those who are potentially new to this, as we get into the game, the players are just picking in the order that they just pick their champions. They don't pick in the order that were chosen. They don't have to do any trades. They just pick whatever they're playing. So you do get confirmation during the draft if there's flex picks as to where those might be going. I don't think either team is much flex picking here. These seem pretty.
Yeah, not much room for flex pick. Early though, with that well, not this draft, but the Lux Nautilus, I was looking forward to a do and be mid Nautilus play. Did not happen.
The question is, okay, Bossly Beast has recognized that he needs Smite to jungle. Avoided a crucial early misstep there. Let's see. Looking at, I'm watching summoners as people are getting locked in, getting their rune mastery set up. Azir's taken barrier, which is very standard, but Malzahar has taken ignite and not Elo. I think they just banned the Anivia to avoid waiting out the 30-second timer.
Yeah, we're all anxious to get in the game. And yeah, that ignite, very aggressive. As the cleanse on Azir, those who may not be aware, cleanse will not take off the debuff of the suppression.
No,
it will remove stuns, but not Malzahar R or Warwick's ultimate.
No. Remove the fear from Warwick, but I don't think cleanse is really what Azir wants to go with. Lucian, we're seeing both AD carries running heal. Most games I've seen so far have been double heal. We aren't seeing much of
Yep. Comes the last pick, should be the Nautilus onto Grovia with the Ignite as well.
I like the Ignite on Morgana. Autumn Gamer had Exhaust on, but I think that trying to go into these team fights without an Ignite would be pretty tricky because you have two big self-healers, and if you don't get enough anti-heal online early, then it's going to make the mid-game team fights really hard. So having at least one source of anti-heal, probably for the Warwick.
Especially early.
Yeah.
Especially early. When Warwick is under 50% early, his lifesteal, it's just incredible. And that Ignite, at least someone on the team having it, will come in clutch.
Double teleports in top lane, which makes sense. Urgot, he could take Ignite, but I don't think he wants the TP to match Fiora and then TP to a fight, and Fiora just wants for pressure top lane.
Yeah. Past 6, Urgot doesn't really need the Ignite. He'll have his
Fear Beyond Death.
His Fear Beyond Death. His ultimate Fear Beyond Death to secure these kills onto Dragonicant.
Fun fact about Urgot, even though it is difficult to notice in play, if you hover over the tooltip marker for when you've been hit with the Urgot ult, it says, this dude is in serious trouble. And then while you are being dragged, it just says, goodbye.
Yikes. That's how it goes.
Morgana has switched back to Exhaust. I think I would have preferred the Ignite here.
Morgana did switch back to Exhaust.
Though exhausting Fiora or Warwick in a team fight could be really clutch.
Yeah, it could save them in a sticky situation. I still like the Ignite more. I'm with you on that. They do maybe not respecting all the healing that Fiora, Warwick.
And Lucian is healing. I feel like Lucian's likely to build. I don't know Lucian build, but I think there's a good chance he builds a Blade of the Ruined King at some point in the build. So
yeah, Lucian, and even just in bot lane, secure these kills. Now with the heal, they just want to play it passive. They do have a very strong late game. The Exhaust will be better in the late game. We'll see if they can make it there.
Yeah, I think if you're Zach, you probably want to look to gank bot because Caitlyn Morgana is such a dominant laner that they're going to have the advantage early in terms of poke and denying the engage. Ganking for the Azir may not be worth it because Azir just doesn't do enough damage early on to really confirm kills.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm Zach, I'm looking mid and top when I'm around to maybe get a gank off. Other than that, just farming up, getting that 2-3 item spike. Just being able to zone out these suppressions and let Caitlyn and Azir poke from a safe range. Secure the objective slowly. Just under a minute on the spectator delay. So we will be heading into game soon.
One thing I think that aggressive enchanters will need to be wary of is objective fight. They basically have to make sure Warwick's dead because with the double suppression, if Gags Gaming is well coordinated, it'd be very easy for Malzahar to ult the Zac and then Warwick just to walk up and smite the dragon. They need to either zone Warwick out effectively or try to pick one of them off because having that much CC just shut the... Like, I've stolen dragons by just ulting the enemy jungler's Warwick and then smiting during the ult.
Oh,
if they're not careful,
that is
they will lose objective to that. All right, spectator delay is over. So we get to see what rune people are taking and who has the classiest skin, which is really the true winners of the match. All right.
I'm looking forward to a good Tundra Warwick. Coming out, no Warwick skin.
No skins in the mid lane. No skins on the support. Hynun Urgot's a very solid skin.
Pool parties access 3 skins to 2. Now,
Luna Wraith, I think I'm going to give the edge to aggressive enchanters here. Hynun, Urgot, and Luna Wraith Caitlyn are both very quality.
Very high quality. It is a pay-to-win game, as we all know.
Let me make sure. All right, players are spawning in. We have Conquer on both top laners, Aftershock on Zac. I think the Conquer is a little interesting on Warwick. I personally prefer press the attack. Warwick stacks it very easily, and he's really more about on-hit effects, and he doesn't really scale that much off of the raw attack damage that you get out of Conqueror, though it does give him good sustain in really long fights if he can drag it out. We saw the Aerie on the Malzahar, which is common just for some guaranteed poke. Stud Nugget took Electrocute in his last match on Azir as well. Azir's usually more of a late game scaler, but this will give him some poke to try to contest the Malzahar early.
Interesting. I do like the Conqueror more on Azir. It's very easy to stack up.
I like Conqueror lethal 10 Azir as well.
And, we'll see the Electrocute. Could force an early flash, maybe on GG Slagon.
Yeah, especially without a defensive summon. Aftershock on the Nautilus. Do have the Comet on the Morgana. I don't know if Aerie is more common or Comet for more.
It beats me. I do like the Comet though. It's easy to proc with her W. With her.
True. both. Looks like all the starting items are pretty much standard. Double deep blade in top. Warwick starts the rejuvenation bead to get the PMF faster. Both junglers are starting bot side, but Kate's going to lane early.
It is going to lane early. Lightning 13Z should be able to do red buff just fine. We'll see if he goes down to Krugs, looks like. Doing the Korean Krug strat.
There's a lot of XP to be had from Krugs. One thing I also like about Krugs that I think a lot of junglers overlook is if you're running... Let me check his runes. Did he take Overgrowth? He did take Overgrowth, which will give him that bonus health. And because there's so many mini Krugs, which all count for Overgrowth, Krugs camp is always at least a stack of Overgrowth. Sometimes kind of go into it.
I do think Overgrowth is a mistake here. I tend to take, and I forget its name, but the healing one.
Second, Revitalize.
Revitalize. It gives him 5% healing every time he picks up his little globules of health. Ends up
more when he's low.
Just really sustaining him throughout the whole jungle.
That's true.
Warwick, full health, nothing new. Looking to
I like Overgrowth, but I'll admit that's because I'm a very basic top laner, and I just like big health bar equals good.
Big health bar on Zac does equal good.
Is he going for the... Alright, Urgot lands the grab. The parry's a little late. And that's a good trade for Urgot.
Great trade for Urgot. Does he know Warwick is waiting in this bush? Might be waiting on Zac to come.
He's just gonna take the top scuttle. If Warwick... Alright, he's going for his Raptors. He might be able to double scuttle Zac here, but it would be a less efficient pass. He's gonna have to go back to bot and then go back to top. Really.
That's very true. Another skirmish. Urgot takes it in the top lane. Putting up a big wave here.
This time the parry was on point in top lane. Urgot gets stunned.
See Zac about to finish his full clear. So is Warwick. Warwick a little ahead in CS.
Yeah, he got that, the Scuttle Crab. That's that for it, yes. So both bot laners for aggressive Enchanters took Biscuit, but it looks like GG Teak did not take it. And so he's going to be more at risk of being poked out. He needs to use those Relentless Pursuits well to dodge the Caitlyn poke, the Morgana roots. And this is already a lane where Caitlyn and Morgana are going to have a lot of pressure and just harassment. And so not having that extra sustain. He took sudden impact and eyeball collection. He's going very all in on the damage. He didn't even take the Legend Bloodline.
Very aggressive. I do like this build though. That's a lot of damage to put out, especially in the mid game once he gets his second item. I mean, we'll see a lot of damage coming out from GG Teak. I do prefer this to the more standard boots. Maybe Biscuit's runes.
Yeah.
But he does have a high cost build. That Bork is not cheap at all.
Malzahar is out of mana almost completely in the mid lane, and without enough mana to easily push the wave, and without teleport to get back to lane quickly, he's probably going to be sitting under tower last hitting for a bit, and just give us here. Double Scuttle did go to the Warwick.
There you go. They're still farming here. Warwick can look for the early dragon.
Flagon is level 6 and has enough mana to ult. If Warwick is willing to flash Fear, or... Oh, he doesn't quite have... He's just enough mana now to ult. There is potentially gank pressure in mid, but it looks like Warwick's just focused on farming.
There is. He will get level 6 first. And it looks like Azir's back in already. No TP either. We'll see how fast Malzahar can push this wave. Hopefully make Azir miss some CS.
Fiendish Codex and a dagger for Azir. That'll be the National Tooth. Warwick notably didn't have enough money to get his full Tiamat on his back, which is definitely awkward. It's going to slow down his clear against the against camps that have a lot of small targets like Raptors and Krugs. The Tiamat is really key on Warwick.
It is. You do need either a kill or to stay for both scuttles before backing, plus the full clear to get the gold needed for the Tiamat on first back. With the bead, the Tiamat still costs around 1100 gold.
1175.
1175, and you end with 900 gold. 900 gold doing a full clear. He could have looked to stay. He did not choose to, and he'll have it on his next back. Yeah, so he could be farming a lot faster on it. See Zach still holding in with the farm.
Urgot's coming back to lane with a Phage boots. I'm normally a proponent of Bramble Vest Burst against Fiora. Most top laners can do enough damage to her with bases as long as they can set through healing. But Fiora doesn't look like she really wants to go aggressive. And Urgot's got the range poke advantage, so I think Phage here is probably fine.
I do like Ninja Tabby's first item. He did go for Phage. A bit more aggressive.
Yeah, Ninja Tabby does cut Fiora's damage quite a bit.
Yeah, probably anyone. Auto attack heavy into Tryndamere, into Riven.
Oh, it's a godsend against Tryndamere. Or Trundle.
Ninja Tabby really does a lot of work to keep you in lane.
I feel like that's why Riot wonders, why do people always rush Ninja Tabby? I'm like, because, oh, hook on the Caitlyn, but the Black Shield's in time to prevent follow-up.
About even. The balling greedy will use a health pot and a biscuit to get back.
Gags going in. Oh, good interrupt with the Zach. Oh, but the binding misses.
Will they have enough damage before he gets back?
Not quite. Nope.
The Soul Shackles do not have enough range. They just
Warwick's hunting, but he's just gonna back up.
Great on Gags Gaming to not use any summoners there.
Just to recognize the Nautilus is tanky enough to just walk out.
Both got out alright. See if they can get back in time. Will aggressive Enchanters choose to take the dragon here? See if they're just gonna clear a ward. And the Bossly Beast coming up.
Warwick wants to poke his head in, but aggressive Enchanters could definitely make a play here. The back lane on...
He does choose to start the dragon. Autumn Gamer coming in to help.
They're probably going to need Caitlyn here. Morgana and Zach are not going to have enough damage to take it out quickly.
Mid lane priority here. Could Malzahar make the move? It does look like he wants to.
Both mid laners are rotating in. Is Nautilus going to take the blast gun over the wall? He does.
Gags Gaming making a move on the dragon. Lightning 13Z secures the dragon.
Zach goes in. I don't know if that's a great idea
Going
here.
in. Pox the passive. Bossly Beast doing work on the...
Morgan's really low, but she's going to get out. No, she's not. It was golden.
Hourglass. First blood goes on to Teak, getting the Autumn Gamer. Meanwhile, Voltron Gaming on the top gets Grovia on Teak. Hits the ward on accident going out. Voltron Gaming able to TP and secure
2 kills for the Urgot. And he's a ranged Juggernaut. He just rolls in the middle of them, starts dishing out AoE damage with the Purge, hits Nautilus with the Fear Beyond Death, and Nautilus isn't able to get far enough away. He's not tanky enough.
Just shreds through Nautilus, really.
So I'd say I'd call that a win for aggressive Enchanters. They do lose First Blood to Lucian, but their top laner gets 2 kills. Fiora gets nothing off that, and Urgot's already got his cleaver. They get the dragon, and Zach and Urgot both benefit a lot from that free armor and MR.
Oh no, dang, you see Lucian comes back to lane with the Berserker's Greaves. Meanwhile, Caitlyn choosing to rush the Infinity Edge. Slagon gets a deep ward into the blue side jungle.
Top side of aggressive Enchanter's jungle is very well warded.
Yeah, really, Gags Gaming doing a great job warding here.
Yeah, there are currently
in the bag of, or in the inventory of aggressive Enchanters. In the mid lane, Stud Nugget.
There are 4 red control wards on the map, and 3 of them are in the blue side jungle. There's no way for Zach to leave his jungle without Gags Gaming about it. They recognize how much potential Zach has for ganking without warning, and they don't want him to be able to go anywhere without knowing about it.
They do have deep wards on Zach. He can gank from the most absurd locations, really. The standard wars against Zach won't be as effective. He has missed them all. Really impressive how well Gags Gaming have warded. I'm gonna track him all through the top side.
Warwick is hanging in top jungle, maybe looking for a steal.
Warwick is looking for the steal.
I think he may have gotten one. He's gonna have to ult the wall.
Pressure.
He decides not to go for it. Are they gonna be able to pick his ear here? Warwick should ult right now. Get him! Get him!
The Bossly Beast comes in. Does not activates the fear.
There we go. There's the ult.
Suppression. Maltar ult comes out.
Nowhere to go.
Goes down. Lightning 13Z has flash up. Flashes out. Is he gonna hit the blast cone and get out? He will. But a huge pick by Gags Gaming onto Stud Nugget.
And there's the power of that. All that vision. Alright, Fior's getting low. Urgot ult?
Urgot.
I'm surprised he didn't ult there. That may have put her low enough to get the kill.
Did not come out. And Warwick, Bossly Beast coming up. Probably just look to defend this wave. Decides not to, going back into the jungle. Decides to come and gank. Volcon Gaming, I almost want to say he can take them 2v1. He just look very strong right now with the Black Cleaver already to a Tiamat in both Warwick and...
Let's see side. Alright, so his Urgot's ult does 132. Fiora gonna block a third of that, so she's gonna take about 80. That would put her at 520, so she would not be left in the threshold. He'd probably have to. Oh.
That might be the Urgot sense in him to know not to ult there. Just save it for later.
I believe Urgot does have an indicator on his ult now, so that he can see how low someone has to be.
And we are at the 14
minute this should be a kill.
Mid lane was able.
Yep, there we go.
Here it is.
Into the grinder. Dive coming out bot, heal from Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, no health, no mana. Trying to get this waving back, it looks like.
Slight plate advantage to the blue side. Both mids got 1 plate, but Caitlyn and Morgana got 1 plate. And that's contributing to the 600 gold lead on the part of aggressive Enchanters. They have a narrow lead, the Dragon's helping too.
That Dragon will do great for the Zac and the Urgot early.
Absolutely. Caitlyn has her Infinity Edge for this Dragon, and I don't know if Lucian's going to have... He will not have Essence Reaver. He's building Infinity Edge as well, but he doesn't have quite enough gold for it.
He did prioritize the Berserker free. Good pick on Lucian. Does prioritize the mobility. Ocean Dragon is on the map. Lightning 13Z looking for something mid lane. Doesn't know.
They just know the Zac's here.
Gaming is here.
Alright, Warwick's hunting. They're going for the Zac.
Warwick used the ultimate. Zac elastic slingshots out of the river. And this dragon looks like Gags Gaming is going to secure it. Clearing out vision. Warwick looking for a fight top while the dragon is started by Nautilus. Pulling out the dragon from the pit, they decide not to.
Yeah. Aggressive Enchanters have a lot of ways to force the dragon starting. You really don't want to start a water dragon before you're ready to. Not just the damage, but the slow makes it so hard to disengage out of pit. Oh, going in on Malzahar, and they force the flash.
Malzahar flashes, broke the spell shield.
Like, if you're in the pit and you're just clearing a ward, it's going to take you so long to get out through the water dragon slow. The enemy team can then try to get up.
We'll see that caught in the water dragon slow. 13Z getting out of the pit.
Neither team seems to want to force it.
They seem to be zoning each other off, letting the waves crash.
Oh, I think Zach he did the Q auto incorrectly and doesn't get the grab as a result. Urgot is just zoning this Fiora. He's gonna push the wave naturally, but
top. I wonder if they see Bosley Beast top, they could start Dragon. They do not know that he is not around anymore. However, Gags Gaming, good ward, spotlighting 13Z. Azir going in on Slagon, half health. Can't expect him to stay in lane much longer.
I feel like if Gags Gaming want to make a play for the Dragon, they have to start it pretty soon, because otherwise, between Caitlyn and Azir and Malzahar, they're just going to get poked out. And they're not going to be healthy enough or have enough resources left to fight it. Yeah. So Malzahar has back for his Luden's Echo and his CDR boots. So his wave clears.
Starts the Dragon. Stun Nugget coming in to help. The Bosley Beast will just say, let them have it. We'll farm up right for when we're in a better situation to get this Dragon. Which is a good choice.
Alright, let's see. It is an Infernal Rift.
Forcing Slagon to back there really helped them secure that Dragon. Great job by Stud Nugget to half health him. Just make him leave lane. No doubt due to Lightning 13Z. Just being there constantly. Removing the spell shield.
This Urgot is playing very well. He's either missing the charge so that Fiora burns the riposte, but he still gets the gap close, or, as in that case, he was able to hit it, but then get out of the way of the stun, probably due to the movement speed from the Black. And there's the Malzahar attacks on the Azir. Oh, we have a brief pause. Lightning 13Z has disconnected.
Nice things happen playing at home.
Bosley Beast has deployed the DDoS.
Bosley Beast deploying the DDoS. Really, all right. Can do just slow him down in the jungle.
Both ADCs have their Infinity Edge. Caitlyn's got double dagger, which suggests she's probably going for a rapid fire cannon next. But Lucian has two long swords. Suggests maybe the Essence Reaver second.
It does look like an Essence Reaver. Azir picking up the Quicksilver Sash already, recognizing the potential that the Bosley Beast and Slagon have with their Nether Grasp and Infinite Duress. Just almost 5 seconds of suppression if timed correctly.
Nautilus has his Zeeks. The Zeeks is a classic support item, but I kind of prefer a first item Knight's Vow on him, partially because all of the kills for aggressive enchanters are on the Urgot, and the armor is very useful, but also because Nautilus' shield, is where a lot of his tankiness comes from, scales off maximum health, and Zeeks doesn't give you any of that, and so having the health out of the Knight's Vow makes you a lot tankier than just the item itself would suggest. It also gives you a little bit more damage on your aftershock, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for that a second.
Azir being the late game champion, he won't have to build this magic resist until 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Morgana's got her Zanya's Hourglass, which is huge. That item enables so much for Morgana. It allows her to flash in, try to run in with the ult, and not immediately float.
Yeah, I said it last week. I'll say it again. Zanya's needs a nerf. That item is ridiculous. The 2-minute cooldown on the invincibility just allows for so much play potential. It's a great pick on any AP champions. Probably see Azir build it, even though he has a Quicksilver Sash.
Urgot's working towards what's probably a Frozen Mallet.
That's what I'm thinking. I want you to notice he did not build the Ninja Tabbies yet. Really not respecting the Fiora.
No, but I also feel like he's not under a whole lot of threat. Neither jungler seems to really be interested in ganking topside, though Ninja Tabby would be very good against Warwick, since it's mostly basic attack focused. But Fiora's mostly just farming up and trying not to get dove. And so I think he can go for the more aggressive route and not have to worry that he's going to need that defense. He's very close to Frozen Mallet. I think it's 1800 if you don't have the Giant's Belt, and he has 1568. So he's probably a few waves, maybe 2 or 3 away from completing that. Do see the Ninja Tabby come out on the Zac. We have a lot of unfinished boots. All right, we are back in. Warwick is soloing Rift Herald. He's very good at soloing it, but they don't seem to be checking it. All in the bot lane.
I'm sorry about that. My game just crashed. So we'll get it over to you, TTU, while I reconnect.
Yeah, so Lucian and Nautilus went in on the Caitlyn. It looks like Morgana had backed, and they decided to try for a fight. She was forced to burn the heal under her own tower.
Warwick's going to take the Rift Herald. I gotcha.
Yep, Warwick does take the Rift Herald. I'd note that the Lucian has a 25 CS lead over the Caitlyn, even though this would theoretically be a Caitlyn-favored lane. So with the first blood, I think that makes Lucian very well positioned to try to pop off mid game. We have a fight in top lane, Urgot forces the flash out of Fiora. She's running low on mana. Probably look to back soon. Looks like Zac may have ganked mid, but it didn't. Looks like Slagon was able to get out of the way. Didn't have to burn any summoner spells.
If you're Warwick, do you take this top to get that tower down?
I don't think I'd take the Rift Herald top because you're probably not going to kill it in one charge. And Urgot's threatening enough that you're only going to get one charge. Pick on Zac in the bot river. Grab. This should force his passive. Nope. Morgana's shield is going to stop the Nautilus follow-up. And now Nautilus is the one caught out. Warwick's hunting for his kills.
Huge play by Greedy on a big Nautilus.
I think Warwick should look to drop the Rift Herald mid. Both mid towers are really low, so you're almost certain to get first tower if you do. Oh! Heal! Oh, but not enough damage on the Lucian.
Nugget chasing down Grovia. To that full mana, decides not to pursue it. Bossy Beast here.
Malzahar might actually get first tower here, though, if he goes and pushes it in. Clearing out a ward.
Respecting Stud Nugget's roam potential.
He's got the Voidlings to tank
going
him.
in.
I think he'll get it here.
It looks like he will grab first blood.
He does, first tower. And that actually evens the goal.
Coming out. No Zac is nearby.
Flash shield wall.
Coming out by Slagon.
Alright, Slagon bails. You have to burn the Malzahar flash, but it's for the Azir flash ult. I'd call that worth. And since you were already behind, you really needed the gold as the first tower. Oh no!
The Bossy misses the ultimate. Lightning 13Z trying to get out safe.
Fear.
The fear comes out by Bossy Beast. The passive is up, but they will just.
And
great dive, but did not get out in time.
Urgot chose not to teleport for that. I feel like that's probably the best bet. Zac would have only respawned from one blob, and the amount of health. Oh! Lucian has to back up to avoid the root.
The amount of to keep the pressure top.
Yeah, the amount of health that that Zac respawns with is based on how many blobs survive, and you can only save one with a teleport. So he would have come out of the teleport at really low health, and probably died right away. And since you can't cancel a teleport anymore, Urgot would have been committed to following.
Without the flash.
This time Urgot's teleporting. He's trying to defend bot tower.
See the Herald come out.
A lot of damage, but they won't get it.
Get it.
Infernal's coming up.
Gags Gaming just backing up, ready to secure the Infernal.
Yeah, Fiora has no way to join this. This should go to aggressive Enchanters. Morgana's a little low, but I don't think they want to take a 4v5. against a very fed Urgot.
Yeah, Voltron Gaming just zoning all three of them. Bosley Beast looking to come in through the flank. Chooses not to.
They may look for the fight here. I think Urgot was looking for the fight, but Zach was like, hey guys, I just want to back up. Urgot really needs to back.
And Fiora does get top tower for the Infernal Drake. That's just a lot of pressure. Soul Drake coming out. Lightning 13th.
Wait, we have a double commit in bot lane. Malzahar is in a really bad spot.
Voltron Gaming gets Slay Gun.
Flash out of Morg. Can she land the binding? Nautilus flashed over the wall.
And they get bot tower. Here you see Dragonica still pushing up. Lightning 13Z looking for the flank. Seems Voltron Gaming will come up.
I think Urgot's making a mistake here. He needs to back. He needs to not be trying to farm this, not be trying to harass. Oh, the shield wall's off.
Defending the top.
Yeah, Urgot's sitting on 4,000 gold. He needs to back it, and he's back. Remember, kiddies, if you have a lot of gold, but you haven't spent it, you're not actually any stronger. So when you get ahead, it's important to make sure to spend your money and turn that. Essentially, it's potentially kinetic energy.
Items.
Gold is potential lead. Items are actual kinetic lead, and he's now got the frozen mallet. He's very, very sticky, and it looks like that's a death. He's going all in.
Be a death stance
on that damage deal.
Push. Being able to take Dragonica, take him under tower. See Dragonica actually secure the first tower.
I would have called it greedy, but at Worlds, Broxa actually tanked Baron for, I think, 30 to 45 seconds as Death Stance Urgot without really taking noticeable damage.
That's just the strength of Urgot. Real tank shredder. Able to still tank a lot of damage. We'll see if they can catch Dragonica rotating.
Interesting. Urgot, I'm looking at his skill max. Normally it would be W and Q, but he actually maxed his E first. He's only maxing Q now, which I think.
They catch Grovia out.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
Is not respecting the warding potential. He should not be there. They do have all their wards concentrated in the bot side.
And that's just a risky thing. As a tank support, you're really tanky early, but your tankiness does start to fall off in the mid game because you don't have as much gold as like a lane tank does. And walking into an unwarded bush to gank can be very risky.
13Z dives in, GGT on greedy. 20% forces a flash out, not the heal. Still have exhaust. A great binding by Morgana. Forces a flash out Teak. And
defensive ult.
Suppression.
Oracle's off target. If he ults him.
Lightning 13Z jumps in. Will he be able to get the auto on GGT?
He should get low enough. Yep,
and
there's the grab.
Is.
This Urgot 6-0.
Coming out by Voltron Gaming, hits the 700 gold bounty.
Oh, Fiora tries to duel the Azir, but barrier in his own shield is too much.
Stud Nugget does get the kill on it. Dragonica top. They'll continue to siege. They get the spell shield off of Slagon. It could be huge if Lightning 13Z can land an elastic slingshot. They'll choose to back here most likely. Push up this final wave.
Urgot will definitely have all the components of Death Stance. He might have just enough gold for Death Stance.
Death Stance would be huge, and the 3-item spike. Fiora still at only 1 item with the Ravenous Hydra. Granted, it is a very expensive item. So we'll see. Looks
See,
like
this
she'll
is
have
a case.
Trinity Force next. Not
Yeah, this is a case where I understand how powerful Trinity Force is on Fiora, but I might have liked to see the Cleaver instead, because you have 2 big tanks to tread through in the Urgot and Zac. And more importantly, Cleaver's cheaper. So if you're behind, it still gets you 20% CDR, it gets you damage, it gets you movement, and you're not waiting to try to finish that really expensive Trinity Force. I don't think it is any
40 seconds. We'll see the soul come out. This could be soul for aggressive enchanters. Autumn Gamer, warding Baron, making her way bot.
Urgot picks the ward off over the wall. Urgot's purge is very effective in wards. Fiora's still just sitting in top lane. She doesn't have any.
The ward.
objectives to take, really. She's going to clear some more Drown Baron, maybe? Yeah, I think they
have to give it up here, I think. It's a 5v4.
Yeah, I don't think Gags has a way to contest it, but they're going to try.
Steal it.
That's Infernal Soul.
Can they get the engage?
Go in.
Zach with the Elastic Slingshot.
Nope.
Gags go? Holds it too long, decides not to.
Yeah, they decided to back up. They got the soul.
They're backing. They did just shop. I wonder if we'll see them rotate to Baron.
Notably, Lucian was not going for the Essence Reaver. He is going for the Blade of the Ruined second. So he is going to get some. He's got enough gold for that one. Back. Alright, so it's a 4,000 gold lead on the part of aggressive Enchanters. They've got a 3-tower lead. They've got the Infernal Soul. And they have 2 carries that are going to make great use of it. How does Gags get back into this? Do they try to stall for Fiora to get the late game fights? Warwick's in bot. He's going to tower. That's going to concede to Baron here.
Yeah, seeing Warwick bottom, not good. He really needs to stay hidden, especially when Baron's up. Should be
as a jungler, you can't show bot side when Baron's up. It's way too risky.
Way too risky, and they capitalize on it. Now with Dragon Soul and Baron both. Go back to what you're asking. I think by just farming it out and really letting Malzahar and Dragonican split push here could be the answer. Pick up farm on the side lanes. Let GGT, Costly Beast, and Grovia.
Notably, Warwick, Urgot has a lot of health, and he has the damage reduction, but he doesn't have much in the way of actual resist. And Caitlyn has no QSS. So if Malzahar can get a pick on on those priority targets, they probably have the damage to focus them down, especially with the double suppress.
They still do have huge pick potential.
Nautilus ult.
Done a great job to.
Gonna grab Morgana. She shields herself. Oh, but Malzahar is just obliterated.
Goes down. Next goes Dragonicant. I need Zir coming up huge. It's just GGT looking to end here. Heal comes out. Quadra kill by Stud Nugget.
Is Morgana? Oh, she lives through the tower shot. This should be a quick end. Really clean game for aggressive Enchanters.
Very clean.
I think they cleaned up some of the issues they had in game one. I noticed in the first round matches, their comps were more execution dependent. They got pinched on the ADC front, but this week they control the ADC field through bans, pick a strong bot lane early. They pick, scaling mid, and then just like really strong team fight top and jungle. And then the Urgot teleport getting him kills, just the icing on the. Because at that point, Fiora no longer had the ability to contest. She wasn't going to get her items fast enough to duel the Urgot before Urgot was able to fight.
Gags Gaming did not play around their win condition. They have the suppressions and did great warding first 15 minutes. As
Can we see the damage dealt to champions again? Curious. Total damage to champions. Yeah, Urgot Lucian's was very high, but I think
a lot of damage.
Yeah, and I think the mid is really a big story here. Lucian outdamaged Caitlyn, but that's a 6,000 damage lead for the Azir. Malzahar was just not. He wasn't able to get his full combo and his full ult channel off on targets enough in team fight.
Was not able to do much in the game. Just being zoned by the Urgot and the Zac. Once his spell shield is down, he is very slow. Just wasn't able to get out of these.
I don't know if Gags Gaming has this in their roster, but I could have seen a Poppy here. Poppy's really good at blocking the Zac engage. In top lane, she's solid against Urgot. She is going to lose to Morgana, though.
And really what we focused on aggressive Enchanters is they had the disengage and engage with the Azir and Zac. But if you look at Gags Gaming, they have all engaged champions. Nothing to get them out of a sticky situation.
Yeah, not enough peel. And
price.
champions like Nautilus, who would be a Peel champ, they're going to be focused on going. I think we're going to take a quick break as they get round 2 set up. So we will rejoin momentarily with round 2 of Gags Gaming versus Aggressive Enchanters. Teams will be switching sides, so Aggressive Enchanters will no longer have the first pick. So we'll see if Gags Gaming is going to change up their pick ban strategy, maybe try to grab some of the important picks away from Aggressive Enchanters time.
Yeah. I'm personally looking forward to an Aatrox pick. Stay tuned for the next game. Thank you guys for watching. right.
We are back in Media Res with picks and bans for Game 2 of Aggressive Enchanters versus Gags Gaming. Gags is blue side this time, Aggressive Enchanters will be on red. So far, it looks like we're just running back the ban from the first game.
Gags Gaming not choosing to change anything here. Almost alarming. See what they run first pick over to Gags Gaming. You do see the same bans that came out. Alawi, Nunu, and Willem, Ornn for Gags Gaming. Aggressive Enchanters banning the 380 carries, Aphelios, Ezreal, and Kaisa. Gags Gaming.
I think that's a sign, I will say, of the respect they're giving Teak. They had multiple ADC bans towards him last game. His Lucian was still very strong. The first pick, Fiora, out of Guardian.
First pick, Fiora comes out. Caitlyn again by Aggressive Enchanters.
Yeah, they run back the Caitlyn Morgana.
Gags Gaming choosing to stay on the Fiora.
I'm a little uncertain about this. The Fiora struggled once. Admittedly, Urgot had gotten those 2 kills early, but Fiora is really a champion that benefits from strong counter. Like, she wants to know what the enemy is later.
Same game.
They're running it back.
The Morgana, I didn't like Aggressive Enchanters picking the Morgana without seeing what Gags Gaming was going to bring out. And Gags Gaming playing into it, it seems.
If Gags Gaming has it, I wouldn't mind seeing them pick the Zac here. Warwick is a really strong early game jungler, but he has to use that early game, and I feel like because that first fight around Dragon went so against him, he really wasn't able to. They're rolling back the Warwick.
They do bring back the Warwick.
Is this a salty run back? When you're just like, the comp was fine, it's just our execution.
Comp was fine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's the 2 suppression. I'm trying to figure out what the maximum number of suppressions you could cram into one to be. I think maybe 4 if you picked. Actually, no, you could get 5 because Urgot ult, Mordekaiser ult, and Set ult all include suppression. So you could have a 5-man suppression.
That is interesting. The Set ult being considered a suppression.
Yes, you can QSS out of it. Gangplank can orange out of it. You can orange out of a power bomb, apparently.
Oh, and they bring out the Azir ban.
That's a good pick.
That's the problem on Malzahar. On someone Malzahar can bully in lane, and he was not able to bully the Azir.
Aggressive Enchanters bring out the Yorick.
And
I'll admit, I'm not sure if that's as strong of a matchup into Fiora as they might think. Yorick really depends on hitting the Morning Mist, his E splash, to target enemies for the ghouls. And it's very easy for Fiora to dodge it. She can use her lunge to get out of his circle very easily. She probably can't hit him at level 6 once he uses the Maiden, but you're going in on a split pusher who isn't an amazing team fighter and who might not beat Fiora on the split. But they do bring the Zac back, so they're going to have that same long range engage. And I think you saw Gags Gaming really had to. You're going to see a Xayah Rakan here? Xayah Rakan.
Great pick. Xayah is still very strong in Season 10. Surprised we didn't see a Lucian ban. But yeah, really respecting Tiki is gold 4, I believe, if we look at their roster.
Target
their highest ranking member.
I like the
Costly Beast, silver 1.
I like the Xayah Rakan pick a lot because it's a strong lane, but it doesn't have to win lane like Lucian Nautilus did. Like the Lucian and Nautilus needed to be winning to really transition into mid game, and Morgana and Caitlyn just stalled them out too effectively. But Xayah and Rakan are like, all right, if you want to stall the lane, we don't mind stalling because we scale, and they've got Veigar for scaling. Yeah. So on aggressive
Veigar pick. It's a lot of CC again coming out by Aggressive Enchanters.
Mm-hmm. 2 big rings.
We will see the Xayah ult. We'll get her out of the Veigar stun. Malzahar has a spell shield.
Yeah, she can because she's on target.
New bans, we'll see him running back. Exactly how they did in Pro Draft. Should be a quick pick ban phase. What do you think Gags Gaming has to change here? Seeing as the comps have not changed that much.
No, I like the ball change. I think I'm gonna be looking at the Warwick at Gags Gaming's jungler to get more done early. He could be looking to invade Zac in his jungle. Zac is not the strongest early game jungler, particularly in duels. He tends to get pretty low during his clear, and his clear is not very fast. Warwick, conversely, isn't the fastest, but he's a very healthy clearer and a solid duelist. He could easily look to invade Zac, try to steal some camps, and then turn that into a level lead, which can be a dragon lead.
Yeah, really just try to starve out the Zac. I agree with you there. If he can get into this camps and set back Zac's power spike, delay these second and third items, it will be huge going into the team fights for Dragon and for Rift Herald later on.
I'd also like to see Warwick play towards top side. When you have split pushers up against each other, jungle pressure makes a huge difference because once one gets ahead, they tend to stay ahead because the other laner loses the ability to duel them. And because Yorick, not a ton of CC, doesn't have inherent tankiness outside of his Juggernaut base stats, he doesn't really have the option of just going to a team fight like, say, a tank would. So his only option is to still stick with the split push. And if you're winning in the split push, then he's going to really struggle. So I'd like to see Warwick, as much as he can, with given the importance of dragons, I'd like to see him play more towards top side.
Yeah. We'll see Malzahar probably get a lot of pressure. Veigar won't be able to clear these waves with the same speed that Azir could until later in the game when he's level 6 and 7, that his W can clear the caster minions in the back.
I think the Ignite on Rakan makes sense. Zac self-heals, Yorick has self-healing, and I would suspect Yorick's going to take Conqueror. I would like to see the teleport on Malzahar here and not the Ignite. I don't feel that Malzahar got very much use out of the Ignite. He wasn't igniting priority targets and ulting them so his team could focus them. He wasn't getting solo kills. And against a laner like Veigar, who's taking teleport, who just wants to farm, having the ability to match their presence in teleport would be really valuable. So I feel like Slagon, unless he's getting early kills with the Ignite, is maybe going to be somewhat let down by having.
Yeah. I really like aggressive Enchanters team comp here. Really fighting for the split push with Yorick. They can get a lead on him. I've even seen Yorick take his ult, I don't know what to call it.
The ult is called Eulogy of the Isles, but the thing you summon is the Maiden of the...
Yeah, he can take that maiden and send it to another lane while he split pushes on the other one. That's just some of the things you can do.
The one thing to be wary of with
Yorick,
as someone who's been playing him recently, is you really got to be wary of the cooldown. Because the cooldown on his ult is very long. And most importantly, it doesn't start until the Maiden dies. And so if the Maiden dies when you're pushing a lane, you won't have her for team fights. And in addition to the power that she brings, she does good damage, she's tanky, and she marks enemies to allow Yorick to do more damage to them. She comes with ghouls when you summon her, 2 to 4 based on ult level. And if Yorick is just fighting in a skirmish that he wasn't prepared for and doesn't have his own ghouls summoned, he needs those maiden ghouls. So without the ability to call his own ghouls and the maiden's on cooldown, he's basically just a guy who kind of hits you with Triforce procs and like has a ring and a slow. And so if he's not careful with how he uses Maiden, he could be caught without her at a key moment.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything he has to worry about with the Fiora or anything to worry about with her riposte.
No, she can't. She can get the hard CC because the wall will technically bump you if you're right on top of it. but that would be either a 200 IQ play by Fiora or an accidental interaction.
Yeah, really just some some real good foresight there.
Yeah. I'm not actually certain of the interaction between Riposte and Morning Mist. I think that if he hits her with the E, she's still marked, and I think that the ghouls would still then target her, even if she wouldn't take the damage from the Yorick.
She wouldn't take the damage. I gotta think she would take the slow.
No, she would block the CC, because she blocks all CC during Riposte. But she doesn't block...
Does that turn it into a stun?
No, because it's not a hard CC, it's just a slow. But she doesn't block things that a spell applies during that time. So, like, if Zed ults her and she riposte, the death mark still goes on her.
Okay.
So she has to wait to try to riposte the pop of damage. Let's see. Looking at... Warwick has switched to the press the attack time.
Yeah, big switch on the runes, Malzahar. Airy.
Glacial on Vhagar. Stud Nugget played Glacial Vhagar in his match last week. It was quite effective. Same runes on the Caitlyn Morg. Press the attack on Xayah. Is that standard? I thought Xayah usually went lead tempo, but I'm not certain.
The big Meowric skin coming out by Volcron Gaming. Get excited. Double skins in the bot lane this time. Pool party Zach. Morgana left skinless, sadly. And Slagon in the mid lane.
Looking at itemization. Standard starts once again, though the Rakan did start Stealth. I've always got some questions about that, just because I feel like as someone who's only got one like range poke ability, it's going to be harder for him to really get his Spell Thief's Edge procs. And with the change to Relic Shield to make it better for range champions to use, I might have preferred to see that, especially considering that he'll be one of the main engage tools for Gags game. Having a little bit of extra tankiness that you get out of Relic Shield might...
Yeah, we do see the standard 5-point coming out from both teams, making sure no invades are happening.
Yeah.
This time we will see Zach starting red buff. Just what he did last game, this time starting top with the Yorick leash.
I think that makes sense. Zach doesn't really need... He doesn't need the mana, obviously. And one of the things when Riot redid the jungle to take away the little buddies on red and blue buff is that they made red side jungle a little more AoE focused with things like the Raptors and the Krugs. Red side benefits jungles with a lot of AoE damage, and blue side is more single target focused with the Gromp and only 3 main wolves. So a jungler like Zach, who's got a lot of AoE damage kit, red side's going to be...
Dude, Morgana stayed out of experience range for the first 3 minions. Will be a late Q, as she did take her Tormented Shadows W. So the Dark Bind will come a little delayed.
And she definitely won't have Black Shield or Root. So if they take advantage of the opportunity, Gags getting an opportunity to get a really good all-in. But they're getting pushed in by the Caitlyn.
Teague not pushing in this wave.
I think I would have liked to see them try to push the wave themselves, try to get level 2, and force an all-in on level 2. Caitlyn took her trap.
They did take W. That's the E.
Alright, Morgana just hit 2. What is she level? She took Black Shield.
Grovia goes in. Black Shield coming out. As Zach makes his way to the bot lane. Full clear again. Warwick also going for a full clear. Accidentally resets the Raptors. Nugget able to get the shield.
Oh, he missed the Q on the cannon. That's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
Look at his
how
attack!
rough it is.
How precious. Yeah. So Yorick is taking Conquer, and notably, because they apply spell effects, the ghouls do apply Conquer, which helps Yorick because it means that he's going to heal off ghoul damage in all ends. And it also means that he can kind of randomly just pick up Conqueror stacks if Fiora happens to walk into the ghouls. Sometimes you'll be walking back to lane as Yorick, and you left ghouls in the lane, and you just hear the ting of Conqueror pop up because your lane opponent started fighting them. And I think it's helpful against the Fiora because Fiora has tremendous uptime on Conqueror. Because her lunge cooldown is lower than the stack duration of Conqueror, as long as she hits something, she can essentially maintain almost permanent uptime on Conqueror. And Yorick being able to stack it a little more easily, we have a gank in the bot lane. Yorick being able to stack that a little more easily gives him something to match that.
Yeah, I'd like to point out Zach did make a slight deviation this time. Knowing that he was fallen opposite from the Bossly Beast, chose to come up for Scuttles before full clearing, which did leave him in enough health to contend for it, without worry that Warwick would be there and be able to kill him while he got the Scuttles.
He didn't get double Scuttle this time. Interestingly, Warwick back
now
for his blue
the flash coming out by Grovia. Great gank by Lightning 13Z, able to bring the flash out already. That flash won't be up until minute 10. A huge Dark Binding bot and Gammer. But a double
good damage on Greedy.
By Grovia. Lightning 13Z hoping to get them out of lane safely. They do have a huge wave about to crash. Volcron Gaming did have health for Conacan while this is all going down. They're in great position bot lane to take the dragon here. Now we'll see.
Warwick might even look for a dive. I think he's looking for it.
The Dark
The
Binding.
heal and the Black Shield come out.
They're on the Bossly Beast. Will he get out? He does.
Gonna dodge his Dark Binding.
Instead, forced to back. Only too low on mana. Slagon able to make use of his.
Volcron Gaming is very close to 6. I think he will hit it off of this wave because there's a cannon. Fiora probably needs to back. He hit 6. He's very much has dive here.
Conacan has to respect this. To have all 4 ghouls up, they get it. What will Fiora be able to do here? Fiora does have TP. We could see a back and TP back for the 2 lanes that are about to crash.
I think she's greeting for level 6. She did get level 6. Hopefully just fine. As we see, they back off from Dragon. Lightning 13Z back in the top side. Does not know. Warwick is trying to solo Dragon.
They are in the
he is,
pit.
however, on a ward.
He does not know if he's on a ward.
Yeah, he's fully in vision of the red ward. Malzahar's coming down.
Flagon come in.
Volcron
Gaming coming out.
He's
Uses
not playing
TP
ring.
early.
Oh, the suppress out of Malzahar to buy time.
Huge team showing by.
Rakan's caught, but Warwick is going to confirm Dragon.
Are all caught in the pit. Likely have to see
Maiden
burn
comes
flashes.
out. He's waiting for
Not have
cooldown,
her
I
E
think,
up.
but he doesn't have
8
it.
seconds left. Rakan had about 8 seconds left on her jump to her ally.
And he didn't have his flash from the earlier gank by Zach.
Did not have a flash from that game.
First blood goes to aggressive enchanters this time. They burn once again. Volcron TPs into a dragon fight.
And they're coming mid looking for plates. This could be huge.
Maiden's still available. She'll do a lot of damage.
Playing down in the middle. 2 waves crashing. The ghouls are tanking.
And what's more, they're getting more because whenever enemies die near the Maiden, he raises.
Second plate.
Is Yorick gonna get out in time to save her?
I didn't.
No, the Maiden is gonna go down.
It goes down. That is a almost 3-minute cooldown. Won't see her for a while. That's a huge wave crashes on Yorick's tower, forced to come back.
Fiora's got Ninja Tabby first, which I think is good in terms of surviving Yorick. But it's another big chunk of gold before she's able to really get online.
We are seeing the jungles being dragged out into lanes and not getting any experience, though. Stuck at level 4.
Viewer trying for the long con here? No. Fall back.
Do not see it. Only 13C and Warwick recognizing this, likely stealing farm. Voltron Gaming going in on Dragonican in the top lane. Does not get much, though. Able to riposte, and...
I think she's actually got an opportunity to try to go in for a fight here against Yorick. He's low on mana. At the moment, he's gonna have enough Graves soon for ghouls, but he doesn't have his ult available.
If you see top, Lightning 13C has invaded Warwick's jungle early. Not at all what we expected, but using Voltron's gaming priority in the top lane too.
Gonna get that blue buff. Warwick, sorry. Still does not have his Tiamat. Once again, it's a late Tiamat for him, and that's just slowing him down as he slowly auto-attacks those raptors.
Yeah. That's, having to do 2 backs for it is really
It's a pain.
It is a pain. It's very tedious having to come back, and only then being able to clear at the speed he needs to be cleared. Zach can get around with Elastic Slingshot pretty efficiently in the jungle, looking to just clear the wave. Maybe trying to get the spell shield on Slagon. Not able to, but gets level 6 off the wave. Bosley Beast still level 5. See, Bosley Beast just now noticing his blue buff is gone. Proceed to do Gromp. Voltron Gaming pushed up quite a bit. Does not have his ultimate for another 20 seconds. So Bosley Beast passes up and stealing the blue buff, huge by Zach, keeping the Bosley Beast at level 5. Won't be able to gank yet.
York is not York. Zach is level 6. Today I learned all champions of the game of York. Zach is level 6, which means that he has a definite advantage of threat over the Warwick.
And we just see Bosley Beast back and get that Tiamat. He did prioritize the Stalker's Blade this time around. Which, oh, we see a fight going down. GGT dodges everything. Gets caught with the knockup. By Zach, a charm comes in.
They have to burn
Flashes
both
all
ults.
summoners. By Grovia coming out. Both ultimates. And really nothing other than less bounce coming out by aggressive Enchanters. To get the back. See Dragon coming up soon. A Mountain Dragon, so the soul will either be Ocean or Cloud.
York's TP is still down. Fiora's is up.
TP a fight going up in the top lane. Dragona can't.
Yeah, she did.
She did. Not respecting the ghouls and the maiden being up.
Just shouldn't have been backing there, really. I mean, York didn't even.
Quite cute. A floating cat.
York didn't even have to walk into the bush to check it there. He could have just thrown the key in, and it would have hit her. He's gonna get at least 2 plays here, I would think.
And we see them start dragging in the bot lane.
Yeah, because Fiora.
Already dragging almost at half health.
Does she teleport? Or does she
aggressive Enchanters.
try to go to the dragon? She's gonna teleport to top lane. Zach's going in, but he's suppressed immediately.
Oh, they
finish. Blue team gets it.
Gaming. GGT blocking. Stud Nugget coming in strong. Might have
but his body
more
block.
than he can handle. Great job by Teak to body block the Caitlyn ultimate. Body block the Q coming out by Veigar.
The Voidlings body blocked the Q.
Voidlings did body block.
But he did get AP for killing 2 units. So it's kind of a what did it cost everything moment.
Yeah, that's the worst though. I mean, you got 10 gold, 2 stacks, that's kind of nuts. Just interesting use of them. That's 2 stacks she did not have before.
That ring is adorable.
Extra AP. Really, the maiden is adorable.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the internet summed up. Just a majestic cat being. Voltron game. CS and laners get back to lane after the dragon fight.
Oh, that attack speed slow is always so brutal. You just stand there doing nothing because it's 50% in 2 seconds.
Aggressive Enchanters 3k gold lead to the 2 dragons secured by Gags Gaming. And the soul will be Ocean. Map did transform. Ocean soul pretty huge for this team. Caitlyn, a lot of range, a lot of poke, let the split pushers heal up. They won't get the root on Dragonican.
Once again, I feel like this Fiora is not... She's not taking over the lane in the way that you kind of need her to. Maybe it's a comfort pick for Dragonican, but I feel like they might have been better served by picking it later. This feels to me kind of like someone who has like one pick they're really comfortable on, and the team's like, all right, we'll just pick that. When they could have maybe waited to pick it a little later, or pick something that's going to have a better match with yours.
Dragonican known for playing Jax too, and Garen. Nothing.
Not about Garen, but Jax should have a plenty good matchup. Fiora, you're in the wrong neighborhood. I'm not sure where you are.
Way too deep into the red jungle, not able to queue over that wall.
Oh, the riposte
not
is
able
early.
to secure the elastic slingshot. And Stun Nugget comes up, will secure the kill. Goes over to lane in 13Z.
Maybe she was attempting to ward the red buff, but that is hashtag not working.
Replenishes her control ward supply. Be back to lane in 13 seconds. A huge fight going down. Greedy at health in the bot lane. Charm comes out by Grovia. Ultimate by T.
On the other side.
By Grave. An ultimate by Greedy secures the kill. Will GGT be able to...
One more attack. Gets it.
Minions.
Probably can finish off the Morgana here. They should be 2 kills.
Gets the flash off. Nothing. And here comes Stun Nugget TPing from the mid lane. Not able to catch Teak before he got out of lane. Worth the TP. Not worth it.
Out of stun, yeah. Which I think is probably better to respond, because he has a shorter walk back to mid. And Yorick's TP was already down, but Yorick having that keep pressure top might be important.
Here they're looking to get Yorick out of lane. Has been able to secure 2 solo kills on Fiora.
See, what I wouldn't be doing is I wouldn't be looking to get out of lane here. I'd call the Maiden and look to march towards enemy base as far as you can get. That's probably 2 towers if Yorick ults. And maybe even 3 if the enemy team doesn't respond in time to stop you.
Does have Eulogy of the Eye. Whether or not we'll see it remains to be seen. Warwick responding. Coming into lane. Volcron Gaming. Brings out the Maiden.
Calls the Maiden.
Brings out the Herald. See what they can get. Herald goes down.
Dragon's up very shortly. Morgana's clearing wards, but she doesn't have flash. She may be
caught out by the bot lane. Teak already was 3-0. Stun Nugget not able to get her out. Will they be able to get Stun Nugget here too?
Rakan's charm, perhaps? He's not able to. It's on cooldown.
They're trapped in the event horizon, not able to get out of it. Do anything else.
Zach's looking for a follow-up engage.
13.
It's the Rakan.
So Rakan hits the Warwick. Rakan going in deep, gets the charm on 2.
Oh, Boss Beast is just obliterated by the Veigar.
Down goes Xayah. The bounty going over to Veigar. Volcron Gaming chasing down Slagon. Greedy.
They're all quite low, but they should be able to get the dragon.
Nothing coming out. Maiden survived. And that's pretty low.
And that's something aggressive Enchanters needed, because while they have the kill and gold lead, the threat of soul for Gags Gaming was very real because they had the first 2 dragons. And so denying them a 3rd and getting their own progress towards soul is definitely going to be valuable for aggressive Enchanters. They're looking at the mid lane tower.
Do you see only Warwick with a flash on Gags Gaming? Be huge for the stun potential that aggressive Enchanters brings to the table in the next few fights.
And Warwick, the thing to notice was he wasn't even hit by the Veigar ult in that fight. It was just Veigar's regular combo that blew him up. He's a level down on Zac. He didn't take Resolve secondary. He took Sorcery secondary, and he's only got a Demacian, so he's still very fragile. He's essentially got a small amount of resist from the Mountain Dragon and Rune, but otherwise, he doesn't have raw health. He doesn't have resist.
Zac is 4,000 gold right now.
Volcron Gaming was doing it last game. All right, Zac is now back to defend.
Zac gets him the shoes, the earrings, and get himself a dress. It's a lot of gold he's got.
Cinderhawk
with the armor.
Full Warmogs.
Full Warmogs.
And
some cookout meanwhile.
Little armor, probably for Ninja Tabby. He's not yet at the threshold to get the Warmogs regen. He requires 3,000 health, and he's at 2761. Tanks are usually going to get about 100-ish health per level, so maybe another 2 levels, or the next health item he starts to build, which probably a Randuin's or a Deadman, some kind of armor item, considering 3 of the 4 kills are on Xayah, will easily put him over the threshold.
He needs some CDR fast. I would like to see their Randuins, though. The slow would be very helpful. But he's going to build Ninja Tabbies.
It's tough for Zac to itemize into CDR, because a lot of the good CDR items come with mana. He could have built Ohm Wrecker back when it existed, but...
Rakan pushing them. As they come for Xayah in the bot lane, T caught out way too deep in the red side.
He's going to try to get into the jungle so Rakan support him, but then they're both just caught out. Khan can escape, but Xayah can't. But Aggressive Enchanters
chooses to let him go. We'll get you next.
Oh, Fiora.
Fiora goes down in the top lane.
That's just what happens in this.
Tracking down T.
In a split pusher on split pusher fight, when you're behind, man, you don't really have any options.
13's able to secure it. Catching just a second too late.
Yeah, they're going to back up. The Gags Gaming are coming out. They're going to clear the wave. Yorick has a Glacial Shroud. Could be for Iceborne, could be for Frozen Heart. I'd like to see Righteous Glory. When you're on an immobile Juggernaut, Righteous gives you a lot of ability to catch up to and stick to people. It gives Yorick CDR, armor, health, all of those stats are going to be beneficial for him. But it's going to be an Iceborne. A little lower on health.
Well, Iceborne, not a great item, seeing as he already has the passive from Trinity Force.
It'll give him stickiness, and it will max out his cooldown reduction.
It does max out his cooldown reduction.
I would have liked to see either the Righteous Glory, or if you really want armor, get Frozen Heart. Because, in fact, I really would have preferred to see with Frozen Heart, because you've got...
I would like some armor here.
And Warwick, and Xayah, and Fiora are all attack speed based. Xayah is the fed one. Having the extra armor, the attack speed slow...
Huge
he's rooting on the tower, but he's got the merc.
Sacrifice the maiden. We get it out in time. Not seem to.
Yeah, she's pulled aggro. She's gonna go down.
And it goes down. The Bossly Beast looking for something, trying to flank. Pops the fear a little too early. Chooses not to go in.
He's got a Cinderhulk, so he's got some health, but he's still.
Health. Autumn Gamer comes out with.
He has half the health.
Maybe
big engage from Rakan, but.
They get Grovia. They get Slagon. Lightning 13Z looks huge at
Warwick's going in, but
he chases down Teak. Monstrous gets the E. A huge root.
Oh, and the flash over the wall doesn't succeed. This should be either Drag.
Baron.
I think it'd be Baron. Veigar's low, but he just needs to sit out of range.
Dragon is in 15 seconds. They could.
The question for me is, do they back? Or do they immediately go to Dragon? Because Yorick and Zac are healthy enough to do Dragon.
They got it
but
back.
Veigar is low and Fiora's and Caitlyn has no mana.
Yeah. There's no mana. There's no mana on this team right now. They got it back. I mean, I think Empowered back will help out.
Yeah, will they try to rush the Dragon on Gags Gaming's side?
Looks like they could. GGT does do a lot of damage despite the rest of his team being a little behind.
Zac buys a Kindle Gem. He's got the pass.
There it is. He's getting some CDR.
He's going to regenerate 160 health every second.
There it is.
Yeah.
Gags
Third dragon goes to aggressive Enchanters.
Gags Gaming taking third dragon.
So that's a window back into this for them. Is if they can get the Dragon Soul, their frontliners like Yorick and Fiora. Fiora's not really a front, but their characters who need to be in the fight are going to have the sustain they need to try to survive.
Your Stud Nugget looking for a pick on Grovia and Dragonican.
Good cage.
Gets it.
Oh, look at that damage.
13Z. Grovia able to get out.
Oh, it threads the needle.
Knife by Greedy.
Ace in the hole.
Pure skill coming out. Gets it to go.
Am I the only one who feels like it's gotten harder to body block Caitlyn ult? Maybe players are just trying to dodge differently? Oh no.
One tries to get on front, and then you try to dodge behind them, and it's just a mess in that timing. It's almost better to just go in at the last second and hope that you block it rather than...
What's worse is when you try to flash in front of someone and they try to flash behind you and it hits them anyway. Oh, look at that damage on the Veigar. He's got Death Cap second after his Hex Tech. He's doing tremendous amounts of damage. Caitlyn's got 2 crits.
Then Horizon comes out. Able to get the inhibitor bot lane. Huge Baron power play. Volcon Gaming leading the charge middle. Just pillaging the blue side.
The things are looking pretty dire for aggressive here. I think that if they can stall it out, there's still potential off of Elder or a Baron steal.
Oh no!
I've seen Elders completely turn games, but
they have soul potential. Bosley Beast has a couple ways to get in the pit.
Oh, Veigar's got. Malzahar's caught, and
Malzahar's caught out.
He goes boom. Back to the void with you, buddy.
Just giving Teak time to scale up. Rakan can do a lot of damage to these tanks. They have not prioritized armor building.
Teak is essentially even in items to the Caitlyn. He's got a lot fewer assists, but he's not much down in CS, and given how behind his team is, that does mean a lot.
Mean a lot. It's their main damage source, I'd have to assume right now. Perhaps Fiora, a close second, does pick the Phage up.
They're going to look to try to triple in here. Teak is caught.
Teak is caught out. Huge damage by the Dark Matter.
Some people say LeBlanc makes life bars disappear, but Veigar just pulled a magic trick.
Comes out. Mason go poo. The heal's still up. Did not expect that damage clearly.
No.
Ultimate also still up. Well, it could not have been up for that fight.
Warwick's going to ult in, but it's not going to be enough.
This could be the end of the game.
Yeah, this is definitely the end. They've got more than enough supers to push the wave down.
Alright. Gags Gaming.
So as the game wraps up, I guess the question is, what would we want to see in the future for Gags? What I would like to see is less Fiora, and more specifically, stronger early lane.
Yeah, less Fiora. Some team play would be nice. They have these solo pick champions. Looks like everyone's trying to get fed, which in theory could work great if they all do. But it does seem that aggressive Enchanters did good to pick a team comp based team and really just take over the whole map.
I also think it's partly that, like, Zach is a scaling jump. He's got great gangs, but he does good damage, but not enough to, like, completely dominate a gank on his own. But he works really well when he has lanes that are already strong. And he had lanes strong. Yorick was strong. Veigar has great gank setup. And the Morgana Caitlyn winning. So he, even though he himself wasn't an early game powerhouse, was able to get good ganks off. Warwick, on the other hand, is that early ganker, but none of his lanes were really set up to be ganked. Fiora wasn't going to win early against Yorick. Malzahar is kind of a stall-out pick. You pick it to deny an assassin or just play for team fights, but you're not really having enough kill pressure, even with the Ignite against Veigar. And it's hard to gank Morgana because of the Black Shield and the range and traps off Caitlyn. So your Warwick was kind of like all dressed up and nowhere to go as far as the early game went. He's like, all right, guys, I got the fear, I got the speed boost, I got the Q, but none of his lanes were really gankable. And I feel like if they're going to pick the Warwick and they prioritized it both times, I'd want to see stronger early lane out of Gags game so that they can get lane priority and turn that into early Dragon Warwick. Because Warwick never had enough prio to get the early dragons, which is something he excels at.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see more warding out of aggressive enchanters. Gags Gaming did great job on the wards. Wonder if there's a metric for that to see how
there
much
is
ward.
vision. Let's see. We can check their vision score. All right.
Wards placed.
19 on the Warwick, 17 on the Zac. Big vision lead in top lane. Supports are about even. The Veigar had a big lead on the Malzahar as well, but most positions were roughly the same.
Gotta say, early game they do make the effort to buy the control wards. Gotta say, this vision score could be coming from the fact that aggressive enchanters was in the lead and able to clear out all this vision.
Yeah, I think what I've been playing more jungle lately, and what the preseason and start of the season has taught me about jungle is how key it is to have lanes that can properly set you up for dragon. Even if you're a jungler that's good at soloing dragon, you need your lanes to have prio or be relatively strong and able to support you. And when you don't have that, you can just get shoved off of dragon. Even if you're like, I'm Warwick, I should be able to take dragon. And so I think that I've seen this on a couple different teams, putting thought into how do our jungle and lane combine, where are our strong points, which lanes do we win, how do we turn those into objectives, is going to be really important for teams. And I think it's going to...
Why these tanky supports are coming out bot lane. Nautilus, huge pick. Leona, huge pick in this season 10. Able to just secure early fights and push for these dragons.
You have them or Morgana, who's a counter to them.
Morgana. And we do have a post-game interview coming up. Looks like we'll be Lightning 13Z and Volcron.
All right.
We'll hop over there.
Yeah, let me just move up.
Thanks. What's up with that? All right.
All right.
So, what I want to ask is, it's specifically a question to Lightning. Looking at your jungle picks, you went Zac both games.
Yeah.
This time, but you played Warwick, I believe, in the last
2 games.
Was there a? I mean, obviously they had prioritized the Warwick.
Yeah, they picked Warwick. I mean, the other reason is we just wanted hard engage, and I don't think their jungler was good enough necessarily. Like, we did this gutting ahead of them to like be really proactive and invade and kill me all the time. Because if you play Zac, you're kind of asking for it because you're so weak early game. You do have an escape, but you often use that to farm. So I didn't necessarily think the Warwick had the confidence to invade me. And without that, Zac is just great. Like, if you could rule out invades from the game, I think Zac would be like by far the best jungler in the game.
You ended up stealing his blue buff in game 2. I thought that was the wildest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Zac going in.
I thought he was going to steal mine, and I couldn't contest him, so I just went up there, because that's what I would have done. I would have went and stolen my own blue buff if I was the Warwick. That's how I would have passed. So I just assumed he was going to do that, and he just didn't, for whatever reason.
I don't know if you noticed, taking away his blue buff there stopped him from getting level 6, and stopped him from ganking your Yorick top as he was pushed up into tower. It was nuts.
Yeah, I actually stole blue buff a couple times, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's the Warwick showed bot side and I was top side. Why not steal it?
Going off that same, did you guys see the Warwick show bot side in game 1 and then decide to do Baron?
Yeah. You can't just sit bot side with your jungler while one of your players is dead with with your jungler clearing the bot wave. Like, that's just I mean, the Baron is the kind of obvious call there. You're not going to get Smite stolen. You have a numbers advantage. Why not? You're all grouped up together. It's a free Baron. Don't send your jungler bot side when the Baron's up and you're one man down. Like, it's just like, I don't know, bad macro, I guess. And we just punished it very well.
Yeah, did do a great job punishing the Warwick's pathing there.
Yeah, the Warwick's pathing was, as someone who plays Warwick a lot, highly questionable. But I don't want to just bash the Warwick the whole time, so...
Well, the team effort, great job by you, Volcron, in the top lane.
Yeah, bro.
Which did you prefer, the Urgot or the Yorks? Both times we saw you make a TP to drag for kills.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
did you like being
I
fed
needed
on?
those kills. I needed to get ahead. But I gotta say though, Urgot was really, really fun. But I feel more comfortable playing Yorick. He's just a little easier to work with. I can just smite people with my Q. It's pretty fun to do. Urgot was definitely a lot of fun. I don't play a lot of Urgot, to be honest, but it was fun that time, and I'm glad it worked out, honestly.
Yeah, that was a huge Urgot pick. You grabbed a triple kill off the first dragon.
Yeah.
You made a double kill and just really skyrocketed the whole lane.
I honestly surprised myself. That was just crazy.
Is Fiora a common matchup for you in the top lane?
No, actually. I usually play against really good Fioras. Fioras who are like master level 7 that really know their stuff. So I expected to lose, but I just played safe and I ended up winning. So I'm really happy that worked out. My gosh, when I saw the damage starts in the first game, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. No, we did our scouting ahead of time, and we wanted their top laner to play Fiora because I saw huge death numbers on like their like solo queue games and stuff. So we just wanted them to play it. So I mean,
as far as I could tell, they're the only good player. No offense to the rest of their team, but their only like top-notch player was their bot laner. So we just target banned them.
Yeah, their bot laner was
They
pretty
did
like,
have
good.
a
all
lot
of
of
the
smart
ADC ban.
players. Whether or not they meshed as well together as you guys have.
Yeah, no, some of their mid laner played pretty well, for sure, and their support was good too. We were just able. We got the draft advantage, I think, getting Caitlyn Morgana both times. Like that's one of the best combos. That or Misfortune.
Yeah, that was just devastating.
I was
Getting
wondering
one of
about
those
that
combos is just a huge advantage.
if you chose that because like I don't know what you played to win into Caitlyn Morgana, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen a losing matchup either. That's why, like, I play the Morgana with our AD carry and solo queue, and we haven't lost yet. So it's just
Zeke was a formidable opponent. He was. I see
no,
you guys.
their
did
AD carry
target
was
his
very
lanes.
good. Their AD carry was very good and played excellently despite having all his champions taken away, and was definitely the most threatening player on their team for sure. Probably he might have been the best player in the game in terms of just
Huge
pure
man
skill.
on
So
team.
is that
Able to force him on the champs he hasn't played a lot.
So is that I'm
Exactly.
curious because I've seen teams sort of have like two strategies for pick, and teams oscillate between them based on like some will try to ban based around like a concept of how they want to play or a comp they want to run, and some are more like we're going to take out this guy's strong champs, we're going to try to force this guy on someone they're weak at, we're going to try to put her on her like third pick. Are you guys more of the target players, target champion ban, or a more holistic approach to ban?
We just look at what people do well on their op.ggs and ban it.
It's honestly
Yeah.
depends on the team.
Yeah, I just wanna try to take away comfort picks from their most threatening player and just try to make them less threatening. I don't want to lose bot lane. That's really important. So, and their bot laner is really good. So just ban all his champions.
And given how important bot lane is now, being able to ensure you don't lose that is huge.
Yeah, I mean,
that Caitlyn
especially in this kind of competitive type of environment with teams and a bunch of PL champions that we both drafted, that having whoever's AD carry does better usually wins. And or at least if the AD carry difference is really big, that's kind of the game oftentimes. Like if your AD carry feeds, you've kind of lost, and we just wanted to avoid that.
I'm with you there. I think the shift has been normally in the past, I'd feel like League was very mid-focused, and mid could carry just about any game if they got fed enough. And now it's 80 carries.
Yeah, and
Almost.
support too. It's the bot lane in general. Like supports are stronger than they've ever been, and AD carries are stronger
you're
than
not
they've
wrong
ever
there.
been. So the bot lanes, the top lane, while it was impactful these games, is oftentimes essentially just a bunch of tanks or juggernauts sitting around wasting
Farming.
time. Maybe
Bot
maybe
Farming,
TPing.
farming,
Hey,
not wasting
hey,
time, farming.
Hey, I resemble that remark. Look, just because I'm TPing back to lane on cooldown does not mean I'm not helping. It means
That's
I'm not
efficiency.
helping. But
Efficiency.
Exactly.
Yeah, but as like a jungler and stuff, like oftentimes top lane you just ignore it these days. Like
Very
I
nice.
just you kind of forget about it, and if your top laner lost or won, you get a late game advantage or disadvantage. But it's
Honestly,
more.
yeah. Yeah.
But
But
you just kind of ignore the lane until either they're knocking down your inhibitor, at which point you better pay attention, or until your top laner is knocking down their inhibitor, which you're like, you know, good lane top laner in the chat.
honestly, both games, both times, I saw very little ganks. I saw like, did I even
Yeah,
see a
I
gank?
didn't gank for you at
Yeah,
all.
you didn't. You didn't need to.
I threatened to one time, but they either backed or one time the Warwick showed up and we just
the
didn't
Warwick
fight.
postured top a few times, but never really seemed to make a serious effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Ganking top is oftentimes dangerous. Like
Very.
Can be
especially
dangerous.
like top champions are so strong. Like
They can 1v2.
Fiora and
Yeah.
Yorick can just
Oh,
kill
yeah.
you as a jungler like really quickly. And
Especially with the XP deficit that junglers are often at these
yeah,
days.
like if I gank top, I'd say reasonably likely to die.
Yeah. I better get that
And-
kill.
and-
X the lane.
Like I don't want to. If I die topside, we lose dragon, we lose my whole bot side, we might lose bot tower. Like I just can't risk that unless it's like literally a free kill.
Yeah. Best
Or
time to
I
gank top.
used the Rift Herald tops one side, but that's not really a gank. I just wanted to get the Yorick out of the lane.
Yeah.
And because the Yorick was kind of stuck there laning with the Fiora and had a strength advantage, and I wanted to kind of bring that advantage to the rest of the map.
That's kind of what happened with Urgot. We didn't
Let's
really
see.
get a full push forward in the game until I left the lane.
Yeah, and just letting your top laner leave the lane is kind of a big deal if you have a big advantage, because it's oftentimes really easy as a top laner without jungle help to just get stuck in the lane till 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's great that you say this. During the game, I criticized that you broke him out of lane, and now seeing your reasoning makes more sense than
Yeah, that was
It
the
makes- it
intention.
makes a
That
lot
was
of
the whole point. I wanted to get him out of
from
lane.
that side. Where now he has a possibility to come to these dragons and still catch his farm 2-3 waves in top lane, push it back out.
Because if your top laner is stronger, they can still get most of the farm, and they can also show up to your team fights.
Yeah, I
And
was
the
just
other
kinda,
top laner, once the towers are gone, like they can't push too far or else they'll die.
We were talking about during the cast that like particularly in a matchup like Yorick versus Fiora where they're both split pushers, whoever falls behind early just has no control for the rest of the lane.
Yeah, no, it's a kind of snowbally matchup, but it's also a matchup where you can't, as a jungler, really influence it. So it's really just down to the top laners. And in that game, the top lane had a ton of influence on the game.
Yeah.
Like bot lane was more or less even for most of the game, the early game anyway. Like no one really was killed. Not much happened. But then we were able to kind of break out of top, and use that advantage and kind of kill all the towers. Eventually, get all the dragons. Take Baron eventually both games, and then use Baron with a strong split pusher. Like that's just so strong. And we had a great siege with Caitlyn Morgana.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great siege with Azir. Like we just had Azir the one game. We just really had a great siege. So we just kind of played around to get the lane advantages, get the kills, get Baron, and then just win off of that. Just very objective focused gameplay.
Huge objective focus in both games.
Yeah, that's how I played the game.
We saw that by the relatively short games. A lot of games go 35, 40 minutes. These games, both under 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play a lot of Olaf, so I'm used to trying to end the game by 20 minutes or else losing.
Oh yeah, true.
Like, if you're playing Olaf, you better have the game wrapped up by like 30 minutes. Otherwise, you're a glorified minion.
And it reminds me of a description I heard of old Pantheon. The counter to Pantheon is any game that goes longer than 20.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. You know,
Old
the counter to
Pantheon,
Pantheon
yeah.
is sitting on your
Yeah,
tower
true.
and
Oh
not
my
doing
god.
anything. You know, that's the counter to Pantheon. If you're gonna sit under your tower and not do anything, and then the Pantheon just loses, like it's the easiest thing to do. But solo queue people don't do that, and then Pantheon ends up with a 53% win rate off of lousy players. Remember that Pantheon had like a 53% win rate for like forever. It was like
Yeah,
never
exactly.
seen,
Nuts.
never seen, not in high rating, but never seen in like competitive play, like ever.
Yeah.
And then they changed Pantheon, and now he's like pick ban and competitive, and no one ever plays him in solo queue because his shield is so awesome.
Well, what finally killed him in solo queue in old Pantheon was they made targeted spells draw aggro. From
Oh,
minions.
Yeah.
And as a top laner, I really appreciate that because it was real annoying to
But
get
Pantheon
queued
still
at
had the high win rate after that. People were using his E, his like E because it had
the
really
Heart
good
Seeker
scaling.
strike.
Yeah, Heart Seeker. People were using that to get really high win rates.
Jeez. Well, all right, Lightning and Voltron. You guys played great today.
Yeah, congratulations on your wins.
Thank you.
Let you
Look
guys
forward
go.
to seeing some more of you in the next games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely an improvement over the last game in terms of communication.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I
like
felt like
10
you guys,
times better.
To hear. Good
you guys responded much faster and more decisively as it.
Yeah,
When you
that was an improvement. We kind of decluttered our comms and were able to kind of talk call a bit, which
Yeah,
we weren't
that
really
was
doing
huge,
before.
actually.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and thanks for streaming
Yeah,
our
no
game.
problem.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys.
All right.
It's the
I'll see you
time.
later.
All right. Voltron and Lightning have exited the Discord.
All right. I think we're going to wrap this up, folks. We will see you back for future games from the Demacian League and other leagues. I'm not sure when our next match is. I believe there is one running tomorrow night. I'm not certain.
Beats me. No clue.
Tomorrow, yes, at 9:30, we have a Freljord matchup between Seal Team 6 and Gold Salamander. Then we have games Thursday. My team finishes on Friday, and we have another team game on Saturday. So every night this week, folks, we are bringing you League of Legends action.
Yep. Aggressive Enchanters takes a 2-0 on Gags Gaming. Hope to have you guys back here tomorrow.